What is it that drives you, that inspires you? Maybe it's a song or a photo, a quote, a place. It's a question that I've asked myself a lot this past year, and it took me a while to actually think of what that thing was for me. Once I realized what it was, so much became clear to me relating to who I am and what I value as a person. Looking back on this year, it's hard to know where to start. There was so much for me that defined and shaped 2022. So much that taught me about who I am and the kind of person I want to become. Not just in my personal life, but in my creative and professional worlds too. But I guess when you don't know where to start, the best thing is to just start at the beginning. As a student at Toronto Metropolitan University's RTA School of Media, fourth-year thesis projects are a significant part of our academic journeys. In the second semester of our third years, we learn how to pitch and develop a final project encompassing all we've learned as students in our years at RTA. Of course, this can be a daunting and very challenging process, but also one that's very rewarding when you plan it right. That was the whole purpose of our project development course. We were meant to spend our time developing a creative project and plan to execute in our fourth year. After months of planning, which went into the summer and fall months, we were able to put together a plan for a 10-minute short film. For me, as the project's director of photography, I was able to take in a bit of what it means to work on a creative project like this. As I finished off my third year of university and started the summer, I got to spend a lot more time with my family, whether it was exploring new cities or just getting involved in my neighborhood. I got to spend a lot more time in the community that I grew up in and have called home for my whole life, all for a person who has been a major inspiration to me since I was born and has helped give me everything I have today. It felt very rewarding and fulfilling to do so. And while this was a big part of my year last year, it's one of those things I wanted to express my appreciation for face to face. Another exciting opportunity I had was completing a summer internship at Canadian Tire, working for one of their content teams. With this being my first job post-pandemic, I knew I would have a lot to learn and adapt to. But with the incredible team of creative professionals I was able to work for, I felt ready to take on whatever challenge was thrown at me. I felt like I was in an environment where I could do work I was proud of and be part of a team that made me want to be better. A standout project I got to be a part of during my summer brought me across Canada, over 5 weeks, 5 provinces, and 1 territory. Not only did it give me an incredibly eye-opening experience to be part of a project with such a wide scope, but I was also able to see some of Canada's natural beauty. From the rolling Atlantic waves on Cape Breton Island, the soaring mountains and winding rivers of British Columbia, Alberta, and Yukon, the stunning scale of the Canadian Shield in Nipigon, all the way back to the hustle of Toronto and Montreal. It was an incredibly challenging yet rewarding project to be on, with a phenomenal group of people who really knew how to get things done. There's a lot I could say about what it took to get through these 5 weeks, and the people I got to know throughout it. But I think this crew knows how much this time really means to me. To them, I say thank you. Not just for bringing me along for the ride, but for teaching me all that you did. And for being there and always lending a helping hand when I needed it. You guys are the best. After finishing off my summer job, I started a new school year, and this one felt a little different from the rest. It was my first year back in person after spending so long doing online learning, and I could not be more excited to be back on campus. Not only that, but this was my last year of university before entering the real world. Thinking about this has made me realize how lucky I have been to study in a program that allows me to pursue my passions and to learn about what interests me most. Starting off my 4th year, I knew I had to take it in, because I would soon look back on my time and wish I was still here. After finalizing shooting plans, our final thesis project was in production. Being a part of this project was challenging in new ways, but felt like a rewarding learning experience to have under my belt. I have to thank our incredible executive team, including our producer, our creative director, and of course, our writer and director, for letting me join the project in the first place. Not only them, but our incredible cast and crew for helping bring this project over the finish line. Over the 2 weekends and 3 days of shooting, we made a film that we can all look back on and be proud of. Something I've been asking myself a lot lately is how I keep myself inspired. What do I do to keep my creative juices flowing and find the strength to drive myself forward through life? I found that to make these little videos year after year, I often need to find lots of creative inspiration. even if all I'm doing is reflecting on the past year of my life and the lessons that each of these years has taught me. Playing music, taking photos, or simply getting some fresh air on my bike are all ways that help me find the words to do this and express what I've learned. But I think it was the inspiration that I could draw from others, from those I look up to and those I work with, who have been able to inspire me to be better, to find the qualities I admire in them and to try to build them within myself for the future. All these characteristics that help me to leave my comfort zone, to keep on creating, and to remember the feeling. In 2022, I certainly learned a lot, not just through what I did, but about who I am as a person and what it takes to move through life one day at a time. I remember that it's important to believe in yourself, to take risks, to ask questions, and more importantly, to ask for help when you need it most. Because through all of life's challenges, through all you might learn, and all the new things you'll do, sometimes the best way to do it is in the company of someone you trust to have your back. Someone you can have on your team. Find your team.